We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Jevon Holland, one of the best young safeties in the NFL. I think his second season was quite good, but not as good as his first season. I feel like he had a little bit of struggles just because he was asked to do so much in this weakened secondary. Like, they put so much on his plate, but for a young guy, it's really impressive to see how much they trust him in this secondary, and he was just still making plays. But, you know, when you're asked to play middle of the field deep a lot, helping over in man coverage, having to make range from sideline to sideline type of plays, you're not always going to be involved. So I think with, like, right here, we got Jevon Holland in quarters, and if they hire Fangio or someone who runs like Fangio-like concepts, you'll see the Dolphins running more concepts like this, split field zone looks, where they're running quarters, cover 6, cover 8, those types of plays, and it will just get Holland more involved and give him an easier job. And I feel like he's very good in these scenarios when they do run like quarters. Right here, he gets an interception. Like right here, he's just reading 2-1. Cole Beasley instantly goes out, so his eyes snap to number 1, who works to the inside into his 1/4. And look, he just sits on this. He anticipates the route break, shows good transitional ability to get downfield and close on this. And he would have taken away this throw right here if it was thrown to now the number 2. But they throw it outside to Beasley, and he doesn't give up on the play. He keeps working towards where the ball was thrown, and then the ball just bounces into his hands. You know, right there, that part's not super impressive, but, you know, sometimes better to be lucky than good. And if you know, at least he puts himself into the position to get the tipped interception and then shows off some of his ability after the catch. He does have good ball skills. This play right here isn't the greatest example of it, but his ball skills can be pretty great. Especially a lot of his ball skills were showed off on pass breakups this season, not interceptions. But he has the potential to be one of the best safeties in the entire NFL. Time Holland in cover 3, he's playing middle of the field, deep third, and this is what he did a lot this season, playing in this scenario. And this ends up being an Xavier Howard interception. And I know it doesn't seem like anything too crazy, but this was a nice adjustment by the Dolphins defense because they have Holland playing to this side of the hash, to the field side, instead of just standing in the middle of the field directly, playing in deep third. He's lined up over Knox, who they try to, you know, run this sail route, the 7, get this behind the clear out from the number 1. And they ran this against the Dolphins a lot this season, where the number 1 on the outside would run a clear route, just go route, aim it to the inside, and then this would sneak in behind it in cover 3, and this would be wide open. This flat defender would have a very tough time getting out to the deep corner route. But here, Holland is able to just close on this. You can see how he's anticipating this. He keeps his leverage, outside leverage, and then transitions downfield and closes instantly. And then this ends up leading to the corner interception. So he was involved on both INTs in this game. Making plays as the cover 1, middle of the field, closed safety right here. It's very difficult to be involved. A lot of times you don't see safeties making plays from this spot. Usually they're just staying over the top, just want to help if anything gets thrown deep middle. And with this, you know, concept right here, they have everything attacking vertically right here. This route working on the go. This is a backside dig, and then they have the over route to the tight end. And he's just reading he's reading Josh Allen's eyes. Holland, he maintains his leverage of all 3 routes where he can put himself in a position to make a play on all 3, but just reading Josh Allen's eyes, and then closes, shows off that range, and then the ball skills at the catch point. He doesn't just try to destroy Knox. He makes a play at the ball, doesn't want to get that penalty, and then just rips this ball out. Really impressive play. Even kind of hard to see from this angle as well, but he just gets that hand right in between Knox's. The timing's perfect, so great play. The range, the athleticism. Like, he processes these route concepts very quickly for a guy who's very young, and I just think he's going to be one of those guys who's great in this league for a very long time. And in a better scheme, a better system where he can be involved more, it's going to be something to watch for sure. These Bills games were honestly Holland's best games all season. All 3 Bills games, I think, were Holland's, like, 3 best games of the season right here. They actually had Holland start spying Allen in this game, and this was after Holland got hurt. Like, he's got the neck brace on. This is neck brace Holland, and he came different in the second half. They had him QB spying Josh Allen from, like, look where he's aligned right here. Comes down towards the middle of the field, just sees Allen break the pocket, takes a great angle, good closing speed. He's an impressive player that can pretty much do anything. He's so versatile in the secondary. Like, and if you watched him coming out of Oregon, he played mostly nickel and could easily do that for the Dolphins if needed. So I think, you know, if it ever comes down to it, he could play deep middle of the field safety, split field safety, nickel, be down in the box, just being like a strong safety type I think he could even play some like dime linebacker if needed. He's just such a versatile player. Love this discipline right here from Holland, making a play on this RPO, because he is responsible for Knox and man-to-man coverage right here. He's just lined up straight up on him, and once he sees Knox go to block Phillips, he just sits here, sits in this gap, waiting for a possible run to this gap, so he stays disciplined in his run fit, and he's just reading Josh Allen, reading the mesh point, and sees that he's going to pull it and throw it, and just jumps up, gets in the throwing lane, and gets a pass deflection. High-level play. I feel like a lot of safeties in this situation would either just keep their eyes on the tight end, who's just blocking someone else, or they might try to shoot into the backfield and make a play because this hole is opened up, but he just stays so disciplined. And for, a guy who's like 23, 24 years old, he's very, very impressive from a mental standpoint. When I was saying earlier that Holland is put in some pretty tough positions, look where he's aligned right here, and he is man-to-man on McCaffrey, 23 out of the backfield. And they had been doing this for a couple weeks with Holland, putting him man-to-man on backs when they go cover 0. And now the Niners knew this, so they leak him out to this 3-receiver side, have him work over this bunch of receivers, and think, there's no way he's going to get there. But look at the range, the closing speed, and he holds this only to a 2-yard gain and makes it a 4th and 1. Like, this is about as impressive as a play that you'll see from a safety. Just look at his alignment. First of all, nobody in the Dolphins defense is being asked to get these tough assignments except for Holland week after week. And then he leaks out of the backfield and he has to work through these 3 receivers. I mean, if the ball is probably out to McCaffrey now, it probably, gets the first down. But the pressure makes him hold on to it for a little bit, and he just closes, shows off that hustle, that effort, and makes a play. Like, just such a high-level play right there from Jevon Holland. And then the very next week, he gets put in another similar position. This time it's 3rd and 8, but he's man-to-man on Eckler, another one of the best pass-catching backs in the league. And they motion him this time, and he has to work over this, stack of receivers, these 2 bunch right there. And he doesn't even throw it. Like, he probably should throw it. Herbert should probably throw it right now. But this is how much they're scared of Jevon Holland, know how good of a player he is, that he's able to work over the top of this, take a great angle burst, and if they did throw it, it would have gotten tackled and stopped, but he ends up just kind of chucking it up to this clunk right here. I don't know what happened with that route concept. Things got messed up for sure, but it's really designed first read, throw it to Eckler right away, and Holland has already put himself in such a good position to make a play. 99% of the safeties are not making a play on these 2 plays versus McCaffrey and Eckler. Holland pre-snap is aligned as the deep middle of the field, deep third safety. They're running cover 3, but post-snap, he sees this motion down by Brandon Cooks, and he starts to communicate it, and he recognizes once they're getting to this bunch look, they're probably going to throw a screen, just doing off his film study, understanding what offenses like to run. So he starts working down, and he ends up becoming, the buzz defender and rotates to the middle of the field post-snap. But he really cheats down towards this because he is expecting the screen to come. So great football IQ by him, and then closes and then breaks down, makes this tackle at the line of scrimmage for no gain, just because he knew what the play was. And, aligning from a pre-snap, middle of the field closed look, that's very, very impressive from Jevon Holland. Here we get Holland lined up over the tight end, 3-by-1 set, and they're running zone here, so he's not even really man-to-man matched up against him, but he just runs strictly into his zone, and just look at his footwork here. Look at his ability to mirror and match. It's, beautiful, how in sync he is with the tight end. I'm just going to keep playing it over and over because it's just music to my ears watching DBs play like this. I love watching DB play, and right up here versus tight end, you didn't get to see Holland play a lot of man-to-man versus tight ends because he was so important to the secondary, playing as that, last line defender. But he is capable of doing this, being that sort of tight end eraser if needed. Quick footwork, gets hands on, feels the hip syncs with him. Look how he is matching his movement step for step. And then with a close on this, it would end up getting thrown here. That's just DB harmony right there from Jevon Holland. I love watching that stuff, the rhythm of it. It's really artistry right there. So that work right there from Holland. This right here is Jevon Holland's best interception of the season. Cover 3, he actually gets to come down. He robs. He's a buzz cover 3 safety. It's a 3rd and 16 situation. He's just reading Kenny Pickett's eyes. He comes down on this, and once he sees Pickett start his release right here, he's already breaking on it, sees the transition, peeks over to see Deontay Johnson, and just shows off some nice little burst to close on this. Impressive play, just reading the drop, the eyes of the QB, the release, and then gets the interception and ends up, returning it for like 30 yards. An impressive play that almost put the game away if the offense could, got one first down. But this is really nice to see. Usually he drops to the middle of the field and he's just playing over the top, last line, maintains his leverage, and then he doesn't get any target. But now you get him more involved, down as a robber type look. This is what I want to see more in the Fangio defense, letting Holland be more involved. And if you're running quarters can be very similar to robbing, especially if you're playing on the backside of a 3x1. I'd love to see Holland in that situation where he can just read the QB's eyes, be down more closer to the middle of the field, and just make plays. Because he is a playmaker for this defense, but with the stuff that he's asked to do, it's just 90% of the time he's just not involved. The Bills' first game, this is Holland communicating a bunch pre-snap, getting everyone in the right position. I love how I love his communication, pre-snap, post-snap. It's very impressive to see from a young safety. They motion down, and once they motion down, he bumps the people over. He knows that he's going to come off the edge, and he's just too quick for this left tackle, and then he gets the strip sack, which is a huge play in this game. Holland made a bunch of huge plays in this game. Like, he was a reason they won this one right there, setting up, getting the Dolphins an easy touchdown off the rip. And, the plays Holland kept making in this game, late in the game, when they played, over 90 snaps, was really, really crazy. Just wanted to show this play to look at Holland right here. He's the end man on the line of scrimmage, lined up right here. And they end up asking him to play the middle of the field, deep third safety in cover 3. This is so impressive. And then, nobody is getting asked to do this in the league. No other safety is getting asked to align here pre-snap, show cover 0, and then bail out. And he's just getting out, reading number 2 on the opposite side of the field to get to the seam. And obviously Josh Allen didn't have enough time because he's getting pressured. But if he does throw this deep seam route, honestly, I think Holland has a chance to make a play on it. If it was a perfect throw, he probably doesn't. But if he leads it towards the middle of the field a little bit and Holland takes a great angle, he has a chance to make a play, which is super impressive that he even has a chance just from his pre-snap alignment. The being asked to, here we got Holland, cover 2 to the field side. So he has to get his landmark out pretty wide here. And he's just reading number 2. And number 2 just sits down. And now he just snaps his eyes back to the QB, reading Allen's eyes. He sees the body language pointing here. So he gets over the top of number 1. And they try to hit the whole shot behind this. And you can just see how quickly, once he transitions down, he closes so fast. And that ball just barely off his fingertips, outstretched. You can see the body control in air. But just love that ability, the range to get there at the catch point. This is a huge play. It's really nice body control in air, and is almost able to pull it in. He has really nice, high level ball skills where he could pull this in some other times, but just right here, really just off the fingertips. But this is 77 snaps in. You gotta realize the defense is exhausted at this point, but he's still playing at a high level competitively. Last play that I'm gonna break down: Jevon Holland, 80 plus snaps in. He's in cover 2 again. They try to run a version of smash, but this time, number 2, instead of running like a curl, just gets out in the flat, and then you run the 7 in behind it. And Holland playing deep half over here. He's making sure nothing beats him over the top, but he's not getting threatened by anything vertically, except Stephon Diggs working to the corner, and they're trying to hit, this 7 route versus cover 2, which is a weakness of cover 2, and he still is able to look at his footwork here. He weaves to get some outside leverage, maintain some leverage, a nice relationship with Diggs, and then close, range, the hit at the catch point to knock it out. His timing is so good at the catch point on those to dislodge the ball. Everything about it is beautiful. Love seeing this. Jevon Holland can do so many different things for a secondary. We saw him make plays in cover 2, cover 4, cover 1, cover 3. And I think if he gets more opportunities to play cover 6, things like robbing down an underneath zone, which we saw him make some interceptions there, it will get him more involved. You can down him even in the box. He's pretty solid versus the run too, but he doesn't get any opportunities to really play versus the run. He's very aware near the line of scrimmage, just had very limited opportunities there. And I think, you add, if Brandon Jones comes back healthy, maybe even they add a safety like Jordan Poyer, because Poyer would be a great fit in this defense. It would allow Holland to play with a little more freedom, not be asked to do so much, and I think he would even take the next step to possibly become an elite safety in the NFL. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, write down, do whatever you want. I don't care. Okay, later. Bye.